10.
It's lights out. New power-saving orders in California as energy problems now spread to other states. The president gets his controversial attorney general and a warning from the Democrats. Demands for more runways put airlines on a collision course with environmentalists. And Eye on America uncovers a secret for living to be 100.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. California raced today to keep the state's energy crisis from reaching critical mass and cascading wider and deeper into the U.S. economy. Emergency meetings are scheduled tonight between governors of 10 western states and the federal government's top energy officials. This came as California state lawmakers approved a new $10 billion plan to buy power. But this is just a flicker of what's needed in California and beyond. CBS's John Blackstone in San Francisco begins our coverage of this big developing story. John?
Dan, Californians were told today they'll have to change the way they live to cope with even more severe power shortages in the months ahead. California's governor announced a sweeping conservation plan. As part of it, businesses that fail to conserve energy will be fined.
I am mandating by March 15th that every retail establishment in this state substantially reduce their outdoor lighting.
Businesses that don't respond by turning out their lights would be fined $1,000 a day. The governor's order is part of a statewide energy conservation plan. The governor suggests could be the only way to avoid more blackouts.
We will save energy and also send the right signal that we're all in this together.
This is a dirty sock.
As part of the conservation campaign, a series of TV commercials will urge Californians to change the way they live. For example, doing their laundry late at night.
You could help avoid rolling blackouts and make sure school kids don't sit in the dark.
The state legislature today approved another part of the governor's plan, a $10 billion program to buy electricity and relieve the huge debts owed by the state's utilities. But consumer advocates say the bill amounts to a handout to the companies responsible for the crisis.
Do we bail out companies that have cheated the public, that have taken the ratepayers' money and skipped town? Or are we going to tell them no more?
In the ever-worsening power crisis, California's biggest utility, PG&E, today failed to pay almost $1 billion it owes to electricity generators. That adds to the risk of blackouts as the generating companies become increasingly reluctant to sell to California, fearing they'll never get paid for electricity they send to the state. And California's situation could worsen dramatically next week. That's when a federal order expires that requires other western states to send surplus power here. On many days recently, out-of-state electricity has been crucial to keeping the lights on in California. Dan?
John Blackstone. An Associated Press poll out today indicates 60% of Americans are concerned they could face the power shortages and spiking prices already facing Californians. And 51% say higher energy costs now affect them personally, quote, a lot. You don't need to look far from California to see how or why. Correspondent Bill Whitaker is on the CBS Price Watch.
It's just getting out of hand.
What Californians call an energy crisis, some neighbors in the Northwest are calling a catastrophe. In Tacoma, Washington, where electric rates have shot up 50%, frustration is rising too.
I'm actually thinking of moving, selling my house and getting out of here.
Why? Well, in part because California, that deregulated behemoth to the south, is sucking up all available power and forcing up prices region-wide.
We're paying for their mistakes up here.
Seattle's rates have been boosted 30% this year. City Councilman Jim Compton says California, the Golden State, is more like a lead weight.
California's like been on a cheap drunk, you know. They're using power right and left, but we have to be sure that we don't pay for their mistakes, and we won't.
But Tacoma is paying already. Even with new temporary diesel generators, the city utility can't meet demand and must compete for power with California on the open market.
There were times last month when we paid as much as 100 times normal prices.
While Californians complain of rolling blackouts, Tacoma chemical plant manager Larry Landry fears his company, Pioneer, could be knocked out of business.
Historically, our power bill would be $1 million to $1.5 million a month. During December, there were days, single days, to operate this plant on market-based power would cost us over $10 million a day. A day.
This California crisis couldn't come at a worse time. A prolonged dry spell literally is drying up the region's usually abundant hydroelectric energy. This lake that provides power to Tacoma is at its lowest level ever, and this light rain won't make much difference because where I'm standing usually is under 80 feet or more of water. The governors of Oregon and Washington are calling on citizens to conserve.
Together we can save energy now, or we may sit in the dark later.
Others are praying for rain. If conserving and praying don't work, people here may soon be cursing California for dragging them into this mess. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Tacoma, Washington.
Homeowners who heat with natural gas are paying 70% more for it this winter than they did last. And the industry said today prices will be even higher next winter. The story put out by a spokesman for the industry said production of natural gas cannot be made to meet rising demand. On the CBS Market Watch, new signs of a possibly slowing U.S. economy. An industry report out today says the manufacturing sector has now contracted for 6 straight months to its lowest level in 10 years. If the industry assessment is correct, this sign of a key part of the economy may be in or nearing recession. On Wall Street, stocks closed higher today. The Dow up 96 points, the NASDAQ gained 10. President Bush's cabinet is now complete. The Senate today confirmed the final and by far most controversial of his nominees, John Ashcroft, to be Attorney General. 8 Democrats joined all 50 Republicans in voting yes. But while the ayes had it, the nays could have an impact beyond today's vote. CBS's Bob Schieffer has the real deal on this, Bob.
Dan, in the end, 42 Democrats voted against Ashcroft, the most votes ever against any nominee for Attorney General.
Mr. Daschle, no.
And as the votes were being counted, they made no bones about what they were doing. This was a message to the new president.
It's a shot across the bow. It's a shot across the bow in terms of the Justice Department and how it conducts itself. It's a shot across the bow in terms of Supreme Court nominations. It's a shot across the bow in terms of the push and pull within the Bush administration to be moderate and bipartisan or to play to the hard right.
Republicans said it just won't work.
I don't think President Bush is going to be cowed by that, and I think he'll, since he won the presidency, will try to get people who are more conservative than we've had in the last 8 years.
Maybe, but if the president's long-range plan was to put Ashcroft himself on the Supreme Court someday, that may prove difficult, if not impossible. Dozens of rights groups were still fighting him today, and even some of the Republicans who voted for him told me privately they'd have a hard time voting to put him on the court. In any case, Ashcroft went to the High Court tonight, where he asked to be sworn in as Attorney General by Clarence Thomas. Thomas, of course, is the justice who shares so many of Ashcroft's conservative views. Dan.
Bob Schieffer at the Capitol. A record 5 former U.S. presidents are now receiving retirement benefits paid for by you, the taxpayer. The benefits include a pension of $157,000, Secret Service protection, and office space. The newest member of this exclusive club has his eye on some space here in New York City, as CBS's John Roberts reports.
Architects call it one of New York's most beautiful skyscrapers, but to some Republicans and watchdog groups, it's a post-presidential boondoggle of monumental proportions.
This is not rocket science. The place is too expensive, and he ought to recognize it and show the taxpayers some respect.
How expensive? For the entire 56th floor of the Carnegie Tower, with its sweeping views of Central Park, $650,000 taxpayer dollars a year.
If former President Clinton wants to use personal funds to have a presidential penthouse, then certainly he ought to have the freedom to do so. But he should not expect the taxpayers to pay for it for him.
Congressman Ernest Istook, whose subcommittee oversees White House spending, today urged the General Services Administration to rethink Mr. Clinton's request. Aides to the former president jumped to his defense, pointing out that Ronald Reagan asked for 3 times what Jimmy Carter did. What they didn't say is that Mr. Clinton proposes to spend almost 4 times what his predecessor does. The real estate flap is just the latest PR stumble for the ex-president, already under fire for accepting lavish gifts and pardoning fugitive financier Mark Rich. Even some Democrats weighed in on that one. But today, his former colleague shrugged off the office controversy as just more Republican piling on.
They can't pass legislation. They can only do investigations. Why should anybody expect them to stop now? We should admire their consistency.
Mr. Clinton, who expects that the lease could be signed as early as tomorrow, is also raising eyebrows over his first post-presidential speaking engagement, for which he'll be paid $100,000. But Democrats were quick to remind that's exactly the same amount of money that former President Bush commands. Dan?
John Roberts. Still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News. Chronic flight delays bring a new push for more runways. And she's about to turn 100. We'll let you in on her secret in tonight's Eye on America.
There's a place where all people come together to enjoy friends and the good food of life. It's got to be Applebee's. Oh my, Applebee's steak toppers. Tender top sirloin decked out in your choice of South Philly cheese, Louisiana pepper char grill, or ooh-wee, Carolina pit barbecue. It's got to be Applebee's. Eating good. Eating good, eating good.
How does your gray beard or mustache reflect on you? Man, I look old. Get new vitamin-enriched Just for Men gel, the Rejuvenator, specially made to penetrate coarse gray in 5 minutes and match your hair. The Rejuvenator Just for Men gel.
You could choose to fight the appearance of lines and wrinkles, or you can fight pores, blotches, tone, texture, dryness, and lines and wrinkles.
In a study of these effective anti-aging creams, Total Effects was rated higher overall.
Difficult choice.
Total Effects from Olay.
I need to feel strong.
I need her.
Because we all need something different to feel our best. One A Day has created different formulas. One especially for women. One for men. One for people over 50. One A Day. We've got just what you need.
Dear Aleve, when my wife took pain relievers like Tylenol for her bad headaches, they'd work a while, then quit. So she tried the Aleve I take for arthritis pain.
Just 2 Aleve can work all day. That could take 8 Tylenol.
Now her headaches are gone all day. Thanks, Aleve.
There will always be skeptics. You know them. They say it will never work. Never happen. Never fly. But the next time they tell you all the logical reasons why it can't be done, just remember all the times that they have been wrong.
Indoors or outdoors, you should see your best.
Right now at LensCrafters, complete pairs of prescription glasses or sunglasses are only $99 each. Why not get both? The $99 indoor-outdoor sale. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Enterprise? Hi, my car's out of commission, so I'm out of commission.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up.
This is great.
Drive you to our place and get you on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
6 inmates who escaped Tuesday from an Alabama prison were caught today in Tennessee. First seen yesterday on a security tape buying sandwiches. The fugitives were captured after sheriff's deputies spotted their car on a rural road this morning. The 6 included 3 murderers, but one says all they did in 2 days on the run was, quote, drink and have a good time. One place few, if any, Americans go to have a good time is the airport, where terminals these days are packed and runways are worse. The government said today flight delays jumped 20% last year to a new record, largely, it is said, due to congestion on the ground. So as CBS's Bob Orr reports, the new administration may, despite the objections of environmentalists, clear the way for a new airport building boom.
It's a jam-packed system that ensures delays, too many travelers, too many airplanes, and gridlocked airports. Now, with passenger frustration at an all-time high, airlines are trying to deflect any blame.
Between 1995 and 1999, there were only 3 new runways built, and that is in the nation's top 28 airports.
In what appears to be an orchestrated campaign, Airlines and their aviation partners are pushing the FAA and the new Bush administration to pave the way for more runways. There's no doubt they would help ease congestion. The FAA estimates updating air traffic technology adds 3 to 5 takeoffs or landings an hour at a major airport. A new runway, by comparison, would add 30 to 40.
To correct this, we need national leadership.
Virginia Buckingham runs Boston Logan, one of the nation's busiest airports. Logan has been trying for 5 years to build a new commuter runway.
We met every state and federal requirement. We even demonstrated that a new runway would reduce noise and pollution while it eased congestion and delay.
Airport and airline officials now want the FAA to streamline the approval process for runway construction. But environmentalists worry about a fast-track approach.
We would hope that this change in administration is not viewed as open season on our environmental laws.
Critics say the airline's call for more runways misses the immediate mark. Since they'll take years to build, new runways will do nothing to alleviate today's travel crunch, a problem the airlines themselves are now calling a national crisis. Bob Orr, CBS News, Washington.
CBS Next. He's predicted to be Israel's next prime minister. Will it or won't it mean a new Mideast war?
Need extra cash? Don't charge it on your credit cards. Get a second mortgage with no closing costs from Ditech.com. With a second mortgage, you can consolidate all your existing high-interest debts, get the cash you need for any purpose, and end up with one lower monthly payment. A second mortgage with no closing costs is smart money from Ditech.com. Log on now for fast online approval or call us at 1-800-71-FIXED.
Try it both ways. Most dancers are afraid of losing a step. After I had my stroke, I was afraid I'd never dance again. Now I take Bayer aspirin every day, like my doctor said, to help prevent another stroke.
Aspirin is not appropriate for everyone, so be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
And when my body is sore, I take extra strength Bayer. It's that strong. It's great to be back.
Bayer. Take it for pain, take it for life.
Looking for a great value on a great car? It's time to check out Oldsmobile, because right now you can drive with the confidence of a 5-year, 60,000-mile General Motors protection plan. An offer that's good on every new 2001 Oldsmobile. Plus, qualified buyers can finance a new 2001 Oldsmobile with 0 down plus 0 interest and payments until 2002, which makes Oldsmobile the smart buyer's choice. It's one of our best offers yet.
I'm ready.
See your local dealer today.
Tired of struggling down glass after glass of powdered fiber for regularity? Consider refreshing glasses of water with FiberCon tablets. A whole lot easier to take.
And every bit as effective as powder.
FiberCon, refreshingly easier to take.
Menopause affects you in more ways than one. That's why Caltrate Plus Soy does more. It has soy isoflavones to help ease the effects of menopause and the calcium you need to help fight menopausal bone loss. Caltrate Plus Soy, the Caltrate for menopause.
Hello, America, how are you?
You know, when you eat good, you feel good.
Healthy Choice soups make it easy to feel good.
We're both feeling good.
And now they have a whole new taste that may surprise you. Healthy Choice. Feel good food.
If you have high blood pressure, you know all these cold medicines warn you not to take them. So take their advice. Don't take them. Take decongestant-free Coricidin HBP. Powerful relief that won't raise your blood pressure.
Welcome aboard the Super Jumbo, the gigantic double-decker passenger jet of the future.
This will be the cruise ship of the skies.
Tomorrow, join us for TV's first ever look inside, at the shower, at the bar. But is it all too much? The story on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
NATO peacekeepers in Kosovo struggled for a 4th day today against angry protesters. German, French, and British soldiers called in armored personnel carriers and lobbed tear gas grenades to disperse the rock-throwing ethnic Albanians. The protesters accused the peacekeepers, especially the French, of siding with the Serbs. With elections in Israel 5 days away, polls give challenger Ariel Sharon a commanding lead over Prime Minister Ehud Barak. Israeli voters want an end to months of violence Palestinians call an intifada. 4 more people died today. But as CBS's Tom Fenton reports, there are many questions about the future under a leader with Sharon's past.
Critics say he's a loose cannon. His supporters believe he's the man of the hour. But almost everyone agrees that Ariel Sharon now looks unbeatable. Only 4 months ago, he was a fading right-winger, until his well-publicized walkabout on what Jews call the Temple Mount and Muslims their noble sanctuary. It was an in-your-face challenge to the Arabs that may have touched off the Intifada. And now, after more than 4 months of a grinding conflict with the Palestinians, Israelis seem ready to elect a hardliner.
A strong man, a ruthless man, a man who knows how to cope with the Arabs, who knows how to talk to them by force.
It's exactly this strongman image that makes Sharon wildly unpopular in the Arab world.
His legacy, his past, has been one of bloodshed, of brutality, of unaccountable violence. And in any civilized society, he would be presented before a war crimes tribunal.
Sharon's record is indeed mixed. A brilliant field general, he was Israel's hero of the 1973 war with the Arabs. But for the Arabs and even many Israelis, he was the villain of Israel's 1982 invasion of Lebanon. Hundreds of Palestinian refugees were slaughtered by Lebanese militia. And Sharon was fired as defense minister after being found indirectly responsible for the massacre. In an attempt to soften his image, Sharon's campaign ads blanket the country with warm and fuzzy pictures.
It's this man, the man of the hour, that can bring the forces together, that can offer solutions.
Sharon's campaign aides insist he has been demonized by his critics. But at age 72, it's hard to reinvent yourself. If the polls are right, the world will soon get a chance to see the real face of Ariel Sharon. What kind of a leader he turns out to be could make the difference between peace and war in the Middle East. Tom Fenton, CBS News, Jerusalem.
Next on CBS, she smokes, she doesn't exercise, and she may hold the secret to living to be 100.
The CBS Evening News and tonight's Eye on America segment are sponsored by Tylenol. Take comfort in our strength.
My doctor says I'm healthier than he is. I swim every day. It takes your mind off your troubles.
If you suffer from arthritis pain, speak to your doctor.
The lake is good for your soul.
Tylenol Arthritis Pain Extended Relief. As effective as the most prescribed arthritis pain medicine, but much gentler to your stomach.
When I swim, I'm free.
Tylenol. Take comfort in our strength.
Who believes Crest Multicare Whitening really works? They do, of course. All the protection of Crest Multicare will also help whiten with every brushing. Crest Multicare Whitening. Take your healthy smile all the way to bright.
Starkist needs to do what's never been done in the history of tuna. Something fresher tasting. Really easy. Fresher. Easier.
I've got it! Fresher tasting Starkist tuna in a new easy-to-use pouch.
Introducing the new Starkist Flavor Fresh Pouch. It's better because it's more convenient. Just tear and use. No draining, no hassle. And it's vacuum sealed so it tastes better. Fresher. The new Starkist Flavor Fresh Pouch.
Our best ever.
Don't get that, Frank.
Hello? Baxter!
Crunchy Meow Mix seafood middles. Mackerel and tuna flavors make it taste so good. Cats ask for it. By name.
Indoors or outdoors, you should see your best.
Right now at LensCrafters, complete pairs of prescription glasses or sunglasses are only $99 each. Why not get both? The $99 indoor-outdoor sale. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Ziploc containers, test number 80. Sure, you can put heavy foods into your containers, but can you put over 80 pounds onto your containers? Ziploc, all you ever wanted in a container.
Why is interest in the Yellow Pages falling? Now there's something better. Switchboard.com, a free directory powered by the internet. It's business listings, it's people search, it's maps and directions, locally and nationally. So before you pick up a Yellow Pages, drop in on us instead. Switchboard.com. Think outside the book.
Murder on Music Row is just a song, but robbery on Music Row, well, that's all too real and all too frequent. We'll have the story on News Channel 5 at 6.
Tonight's Eye on America is an in-depth report about new research into living a longer and better life. An estimated 50,000 Americans are now at least 100 years old. How can you get to be one of them? Well, take Helen Reichert, for example. Medical researchers did, and CBS's Byron Pitts reports what they're finding.
At age 99, Helen Reichert, a retired college professor, still has a deep passion for music.
I can't pass a piano without doing a little something.
And a love for her late husband she says no man will ever match. So Helen lives alone and likes it.
No chance of marriage after you turn 100, you think?
Never occurs to me.
No?
No. When am I going to find the man? He's going to be dead. He's going to be older than I am, 99. What's he going to be, 102? And he's going to have arthritis, or he's going to have false teeth, or he's going to be bald. What the heck?
Admittedly stubborn with a sense of humor, doctors say Helen Reichert may also hold the secret to longevity. It's certainly not her habits.
I smoke. I don't take exercise. I don't take vitamins.
Doctors believe it's in her genes. A native New Yorker, Helen Reichert is part of the first of its kind study at the Albert Einstein College of Medicine. Research that could unlock the door to living longer.
There's something in the genes that protect them.
Dr. Nir Barzilai is studying a group of Jewish centenarians of Eastern European descent.
It seems that the centenarian and their children have an unusually high level of what we call the good cholesterol.
While studies in the past in Asia and parts of Russia focused on environment and diet, Dr. Barzilai's research revealed that HDL, or good cholesterol, in many centenarians is twice that of others. Helen's HDL is 103.
Now get high, up.
Still, doctors say 70% of the key ingredients to longevity are exercise and a healthy diet. The other 30% is all genetics.
To get to 100, to go the extra 20 years or so, I'd say you need these genetic booster rockets or these special genes.
And if they could put those genes in a bottle, scientists believe they'll not only have the secret to longevity, but also prevent diseases like cancer.
My hope is that we actually will see the development of medications like this within the next 10 years or so that would allow people to age more slowly.
After 99 years, the only thing that slowed Helen Reichert down is a recent hip injury. She still enjoys big city life.
Good to see you. Cold out there?
Especially deli food.
I think I'll start with a small dish of chopped liver.
What's the best part about being 99?
Memories. You are so rich in memories. It is fantastic.
And memories that scan all of one century and the beginning of a new one. Now, with the help of science, one woman's secret could extend the lives of millions. For Eye on America, Byron Pitts, CBS News, New York.
And that's part of our world tonight. I'll be back later after the New Survivor and CSI with 48 Hours. Harold Dow has a preview.
How did a 10-year-old girl help stop one of this country's most prolific serial killers?
He meant to kill me.
For the first time, hear his startling confession.
He told you he committed murders in 30 states?
Tonight on 48 Hours.
The New Survivor, then CSI, then 48 Hours at 10 o'clock, 9 Central here on CBS. For the CBS Evening News, Dan Rather reporting. See you soon on 48 Hours.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the internet and on our interactive partner, America Online at keyword CBS News.
The survivors are forced to do things so unthinkable, so unimaginable.
Oh, my God.
Everyone will be talking about it. All new Survivor, CBS tonight.
This is CBS.
It's for capital murder.
They broke out of a maximum security prison. 3 of them convicted killers.
They were just on the run and trying to make their escape.
A half dozen criminals hit Middle Tennessee. Criminals with nothing to lose.
I had life without anyway.
TBI, Federal Marshals, Tennessee Highway Patrol.
This is still a dangerous situation.
I'm keeping my doors locked. I have a gun.
Tonight, the fear is over.
We're proud to have them in custody.
But the questions remain. Where do they get the money, the car, and the guns?
from your news and information leader.